point third quarter. The WNBA rulebook says that if a player blatantly taunts an opponent, a technical foul shall be assessed.
Okay, this video got to be somewhat quick. Right now, currently, I'm watching the Chicago Sky take on the Phoenix Mercury. Of course, it's the second quarter. Okay, we're about to go into halftime. We're about to go into a halftime break. But, so while we're going on break, I got to record this, okay? The Seattle Storm just defeated the Minnesota Lynx at their home court, being the Minnesota Lynx Target Center, Target Arena, whatever that mess is, home court in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It didn't have to go like this. Why did it have to go like this? Guys, it was disgusting. First of all, Cheryl Reeves gets a tech. And why was Skylar Diggins so mad in the third quarter? It's the third quarter, okay? At the end of the third quarter, the buzzer sounds off. She makes like a 3-point shot. She banks it in. And you can see her mouth clearly. She was like, "It's over, motherfucker." To the freaking Minnesota Lynx players. Cheryl Reeves got on the freaking court, okay? She ended up getting a tech. I thought she was about to try to swing on the ref, swing on Skylar Diggins. I don't know what it is. Okay, but this game tonight was crazy, okay? Cheryl Reeves was fired up. I'm like, the Minnesota Lynx, in my opinion, they got way too comfortable. Because again, at the beginning of this game, it wasn't until I'll say the third quarter where we see the Seattle Storm actually make a huge comeback, okay? They were down bad. They were doing them girls dirty, mainly and more specifically when Skylar Diggins was not on the court, okay? When she was off the court, when she wasn't on the floor, that was when the Minnesota Lynx seemed to go on runs, okay? Because this game concluded with the Minnesota Lynx again. They lost with 79 points to the Seattle Storm's 93 points. Now, mind you, just the other night, it was just the other day, the Minnesota Lynx, I'm sorry, not the Minnesota Lynx, the Seattle Storm did like some dishes. They lost by 20 points. It was 75-95 by the Indiana Fever. Okay, so I was like, this is an easy kill for the Minnesota Lynx. I'm like, the Minnesota Lynx is about to eat up the Seattle Storm. The Storm is about to no longer be ruined. But they literally surprised me as well as the Minnesota Lynx. Because again, in my opinion, the Minnesota Lynx was just too comfortable. They got too cocky. Again, that first half of the game, they was running things. But the Seattle Storm just dominated them, ultimately got on top and destroyed them in the second half of this game. So in the first quarter, the Seattle Storm scores 12 points. The Minnesota Lynx put up 25. The second quarter comes around, they got tied, okay? Both the Storm and the Lynx both scored 21 points. The third quarter comes around. Storm puts up 34 points. The Lynx only put up 17. And in the fourth and final quarter, the Storm put up 26 points. The Lynx only scored 16 points. Is this crazy? It's like almost like sweet poetic justice. Because, guys, if you don't remember, earlier in the beginning of this season, the Seattle Storm was the only team. They were the first team to give the Minnesota Lynx their first L. They gave the Minnesota Lynx their first loss. And now it's like, dang, they destroying them again. I gotta check the WNBA power rankings. I think that it was crazy because I saw the other day, like just last night, the Indiana Fever was ranked number 9. I'm like, even after beating Seattle Storm, I think they're back into the playoff contending spots. I think Seattle Storm might now be number 6 or 7. They still competing with Golden State Valkyries. Now, again, granted, even though the Minnesota Lynx just did like some dishes because they got too cocky, too big for them britches, they still are number 1, okay? The Minnesota Lynx are still the number 1 seed. Look at Kalia Copper, okay? Again, this halftime show. I just want to make this video real quick because I know I'm going to be too tired, okay? Thanks a lot to the WNBA and they raggedy schedule. Also, the WNBA League Pass was the only one I had to reset. My mom had to reset my Wi-Fi. She had to unplug my box, okay, in order for me to actually watch the game on this TV. Because I was only able to watch it on my phone for some reason at first. I'm just tired, okay? The WNBA League Pass needs to get together. But let's get into these individual player statistics. Now let's start with the Storm. Gabby Williams put up 16 points. She had 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Nneka Ogwumike had 12 points, 1 assist, 9 rebounds. Ezzie McMagor had 8 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds. Brittany Sykes had 8 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Skylar Diggins, a.k.a. Skylar Diggins Graves, she is something on her. She is mouthy. And it's crazy because how Cheryl Reeves was able to get that tech, but not Skylar Diggins. Like, she was cussing them out. She literally cussed out their bench. She said, "It's over, motherfucker." She always cussing people out. It's like, I like Skylar Diggins, but sometimes she be doing too much. She be too aggressive. I understand, like, again, like, she going through a divorce and etc. and woo, but it's like, she needs to, like, do better as a player. It's like her attitude is like, and her spirit is kind of giving like nasty, mean-spirited, like mean, aggressive girl. She needs to calm that down. But Skylar Diggins was Diggin' Graves tonight. She put up 23 points, had 5 assists, 3 rebounds. Dominique Malonga had 13 points, 1 assist, 7 rebounds. Erica Wheeler had 13 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Lexi Brown had 0 points, 2 assists, and 0 rebounds. Now let's get into the Lynx. Nafisa Collier, Queen Fee, had 18 points, 2 assists, 9 rebounds. Bridget Carlton had 3 points, 0 assists, 4 rebounds. Alana Smith had 8 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Kayla McBride had 20 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Courtney Williams had she had 18 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. Maria Kilinakova, she is so raggedy, but she did block, who did she block? She blocked some girl. Who was it? Was it Dominique Malonga? I think it was her. But still, she gave us 0 points, 0 assists, 1 rebounds. Jessica Shepard only gave us 2 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. Natisha Heidemann had 4 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. DJ Carrington gave us 6 points, 0 assists, and 3 rebounds. Now let's talk about the overall team statistics, okay, by team. So again, the game concluded with the Minnesota Lynx, their loss at 79 points compared to the Seattle Storm's 93 points, okay? When it comes to rebounds, the Storm had 35, the Lynx had 37. The Seattle Storm had 22 assists, the Lynx had 20. Storm had 10 steals, Lynx had 5. The Storm had 10 blocks, the Lynx only had 4. The Seattle Storm had 9 team turnovers, whereas the Lynx had 14. When it comes to field goal percentages, Seattle had 44.3% accuracy compared to Lynx 44.1% accuracy. For 3-point percentage, the freaking Seattle Storm had 16 3-pointers. They put up 16 3-point shots back to back to back all throughout this game. Just ridiculous. That was really what, like, the Lynx just could not compete. And the Lynxes, they're known for having shooters. I'm like, answer them. When they put up a 3, y'all should. Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Natisha Heidemann, even DJ Carrington. She getting better with the 3. Like, somebody got to, like, pick up this phone. Answer the phone call. Nafisa Collier. But they would try to put up this brick. Now, when it comes to the 3-point percentage, the Seattle Storm was at 48.5% accuracy compared to the Lynx 37.5% accuracy. When it comes to free throw percentages, the Seattle Storm made 75% of their free throws, whereas the Minnesota Lynx made 71.4% of their free throws. Again, this is a very good, exciting game. That was a freaking plot twist, okay? Because at first, the freaking Minnesota Lynx had me feeling bad for Seattle, the way they was doing them. They was doing them girls like some dishes, okay, that was left over in the sink in the first half of this game. Again, the second quarter that comes around, they both scored 21 points. The third quarter, the Seattle Storm just left the Lynx in the dust. Putting up 3-pointer after 3-pointer. It was 16 threes made by not the Minnesota Lynx, by the Seattle Storm alone in tonight's game. Yeah, that was a bad loss, okay? Cheryl Reeves getting that tech. I'm like, please don't throw this woman out the game. Like, girl, get off the court. Don't be mad at, Skylar Diggins. Even though she's very mouthy. She's very aggressive. She be doing too much with that mouth and, like, her body language. Like, she be acting like she about to swing on somebody. Like, she needs to calm it down. But again, the Seattle Storm got embarrassed by the Indiana Fever the other night. They said it is what it is. Girl, it's your turn. It's your turn, Minnesota Lynx, to feel embarrassed. Now, back to my Chicago Sky game. I'll be calling that right after this.